What's going on, guys? Jacob here. Today we're actually going to dive into one of my new favorite pistols, and that is the Shadow Systems CR920. In this video we are going to go over the specs of this pistol, what you can expect to get when you buy this pistol, and what all my opinion is in a full out review with this pistol. I'll let you guys know what you guys can expect when you purchase this firearm, what will come in the box, and accessories that will work for this pistol. So stick around and you guys will see it here shortly firsthand. And full disclaimer, Shadow Systems did not send me this pistol. I purchased this pistol with my own money, and all the ammo that was fired through this pistol was purchased by me. So they are no way, shape, or form sponsoring this. You guys are seeing it live as I am doing this video. Okay guys, let's jump into this little review that we're going to do. This is going to be about the CR920. What I have in my hand is the War Poet edition of Shadow Systems CR920, which has, you know, different features to it and different accessories that come with the gun than if you were to buy, you know, the standard CR920 Elite or the CR920 Combat. So what I ended up doing was, I am an owner of the original 918. I haven't had the MR920 at all, but there really isn't any subtle differences to me besides, you know, minor shavings and, you know, maybe a slimmer profiled slide in the 920, but I didn't see, you know, it bothering me, and then, you know, originally in the 918, so I didn't opt to go that route. I carried the 918 for years. I bought it in 2019, and I have put over 10,000 rounds through that, which has been a dream to shoot. It was my training gun, no matter what I had done, and no matter when I went out to shoot and scenarios that I would run, everything, it was my training gun. And I had literally put it, you know, through some torture, and I loved it. So when Shadow Systems actually decided to come out with the CR920, I thought I had to have, you know, I had to get my hands on it. I had to have it. And being a warrior poet, I just had to have the War Poet Edition CR920. Now, there's some little bit of differences with, you know, the War Poet than there is to the Elite and the Combat, but it's only a little subtle changes. It doesn't affect the performance of the gun, but it's more of aesthetic and what, you know, I want on my pistol. So, you know, when Shadow Systems came out to see CR, I thought to myself, okay, I've had such, you know, good success with the MR918 that I wanted to, you know, dial it down and dial it back a bit. So I went out and I ended up getting the CR920 War Poet. I put about 1,000 rounds through it, and there was some issues that Shadow System, you know, addressed, because a lot of us, you know, the consumers, were buying these guns and there was failure to feed issues, there was trigger issues, and things like that. Now I know Shadow Systems had addressed the failure to feed issue, but the trigger is just, you know, it's the trigger that got put in it. They definitely could have like improved of it, but they didn't, and that's okay. It doesn't affect the all-out accuracy, in my opinion. If you're an avid shooter or a really good shooter, then you know what you need to do to perform your best with this pistol. and to make it reliable, to make it something that you trust. That being said, you know, even though they didn't address, you know, the trigger issue, and the only issue really with the trigger is how mushy it is. And there's different parts out there that you guys, you know, can go out and buy that will make, you know, the wall a lot shorter, even the break a lot shorter. So, you know, you can actually fine tune this pistol to your liking. So when it came down to the CR920, Shadow Systems, you know, designed it around a Glock 43. Shadow Systems' idea was to design this, you know, around the Glock 43 to give you that more subcompact and that more concealable attribute. What's good about this is, unlike the Glock 43, you know, which holds 6-7 rounds, what they did with the CR920, they gave you a, you know, a 10-round magazine and a 13-round magazine. It comes in a box that has the Shadow Systems logo on it, and that's about it. But in this bag is what really contains the contents that is going to come with the gun itself. Now, when you purchase it, it's just a nylon bag, little range bag with handles with their logo on it, and it zips open and zips closed. So with that, open it up, and you end up having, you know, your pistol. And then you end up getting a flush fit magazine. You get a 10-round flush fit magazine. You get a 13-round extended mag. Probably should have showed you guys that this is actually clear. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in the actual gun, as you can see. I mean, I don't know if you can see there, but there is nothing in the gun itself. The gun is clear. But anyway, so you get the gun, you get 2 magazines that are proprietary to this gun. You can't go out and buy, you know, a standard Glock mag to put into this. But I'll get back to that. There's some new evidence that I ended up finding out. But anyway, so with the War Poet Edition, which they modeled it after the Elite, you're gonna end up getting the gun. Now they give you an option, Shadow Systems gives you the option to buy the War Poet gun with the red dot or without the red dot. Now you can buy it with the red dot and it still costs you under $1,000, which is nice. If you buy the Elite, you will have the option for, all the Elites come with the optic cut. Okay, it comes with their, you know, patent pending signature optic cut, and then you get front serrations, you get rear serrations, and then you get top serrations. Combat, on the other hand, you only get front serrations, you get rear serrations, no window cut, and then you can actually have the option to get the optic cut or not. It's good. I mean, if people are never going to run a red dot on it, then that's your choice, and then that's up to you. What comes with the War Poet, you get the red dot already mounted on it, and they kind of try to keep it to like as zeroed as possible, but some of them, they don't come zeroed right out of the box, and you shouldn't be reliant on that. You should end up going out to zero that red dot in yourself. But what you'll get is, you will get, in a baggie, you will get Loctite, you will get different sets of screws. Now with Shadow Systems, patent pending optic cut, they actually put it down deeper into the slide itself. So what happens is, where their extractor and their plunger is, underneath this, they actually pushed it forward and made it smaller. So now each one of these screws are very, very long. I mean, you get longer screws this time around, and it actually goes through the entire slide. It bottoms out at the literally the underside of the slide. And then with them, what they did was they cut it deeper into the slide to get a deeper seat and a better construct, but also there are different patterns. So if you guys want to run, you know, the Hollow Sun, you can. If you want to run Delta Point, you can. There are different screw patterns in here to run different optics. So you don't have to just stick to one, which is nice. Now mine came with the flush fit mag, but you have the option on their website to buy a pinky extension, and now Shadow Systems offers the pinky extension and pinky extension. I can't talk, and the +1. So that way you're getting, you know, one more, and you also get a more of an extended mag than just this. But they give you the flush fit mag and the extended mag, which are nice. And then they also, what comes with the War Poet edition of the CR920, they give you the instruction manual and a quick setup guide for your Holosun 507K, that if you choose to buy the gun with it on it, that will come with it. It will come with a tool as well, so that way you can tighten the screws down if you want to tighten them, take them off if you have to. It gives you, you know, the tool to open up the battery door as well to put a new battery in. And then you get the Shadow Systems pamphlet, their little booklet that actually goes through not just this gun, but all their other guns and their other lines as well. And what's nice about the CR920 is it actually states in page 20 of the book that you can actually run +P ammo with this. Break-in period is 200 rounds as usual, their typical break-in period. And then, but there's a lot of stuff in there new to Shadow Systems if you guys aren't familiar, so that way you guys can familiarize yourself with that. But back to this, you can buy this and you have the option to purchase it this way on Sportsman's Guide, or sportsmansguide.com, and for under $1,000 you can purchase it with the red dot on it. The War Poet edition actually has the option to run it without the red dot if you so choose to go that route. It's like $100 cheaper, or something like that. But it's still a good deal. I mean, for under $1,000, you get a gun with a red dot on it, and you get, you know, the window cuts. It's a very, very nice gun. If anybody that's not familiar with Shadow Systems, they do a very good job at, you know, giving them a price point and giving us a price point that we can afford and still get the luxury of, you know, the extra serrations on the top, the window cuts, and things like that. So that aside, the only thing that really makes it the War Poet is obviously you get the logo. John Lovell went through with Shadow Systems, and he designed a different style window cut, different style serrations, and then also different trigger shoe. Well, not different trigger shoe, but at least you get the signature red and black with the trigger shoe. And that basically is about it. I mean, he wanted everybody to have the option to, you know, get a red dot with the gun. So he, you know, worked it with them to now that is an option for this if you go this route. So with the CR920 Elite, you get the window cut, you get front serrations, you get rear serrations, you get top serrations. The Combat does not offer the window cut and the top serrations. You have the option, if you want, with the Combat for the optic cut if you so choose to go that route. If not, then they're like 6 something or 7 something, which make it, you know, cheaper. But it's your standard 9mm subcompact striker fired pistol. It's got the textured polymer frame. It's the Elite has deeper cutouts than like the 918. When the 918 come out, for anybody that's a 918 owner, you'll see where your thumb support goes, that it's not as big, and not as deep. So now they put a more purchase point on here along with a deeper cut. And then when they decided to, you know, create this, they wanted to base it on, you know, better concealability, which is nice. With that being said, yes, it's based after a Glock 43, but what they did was, and what was different is, Here on the back of the gun, where the handle is, they extended this bottom out, that little tail, just a little bit farther. So that by doing that, even though it's a small gun, they gave you, you know, more of a purchase point, more of a contact point when you're actually trying to hold the gun, even on a flush fit mag. Yes, my pinky does over, like it goes over, but even that being said, it doesn't feel like it's gonna slip out of my hand when I'm shooting, even when I'm doing recoil management, because they extended this just so much. I get a better purchase point and a better grip, so I get better control when I'm shooting. It's comfortable, it is. They got textured grip on the base plate, so that way when you go to actually grip it, you're not slipping. It's actually really well. I mean, I like this stipple for what it is. If my hands get sweaty or dirty or anything like that and they get wet, I still get a good grip and man, I can't talk tonight. I get a good purchase point on the gun. Your slide is, you know, just like all their others. It's the 17.4 stainless steel. Your barrel is a 416R stainless steel. And with the Elite and the Combat, you get the option of, you know, a black barrel or a bronze barrel. It's just, that's your preference. Barrel length is 3.41 inches to give you that subcompact. The weight with the gun and the flush fit mag is, flush fit empty mag is going to give you 17.8 ounces. The length of the gun from the beaver tail here to the front of the muzzle is 6.37 inches. The width of the gun is just over an inch wide. And then the height, your height with the flush fit, just your flush fit, not the pinky extension. The height of this from the bottom to the tallest point is going to be 4.27, so about 4.25 inches. And then with your extended mag, you have about 4.75 of an inch. Holsters for these guys, some places, and there are some companies out there that make holsters for the CR920. Now, to be honest with you, I run a tier 1 concealed. To be honest with you, I've always ran a tier 1 concealed. I know T-Rex has their new style sidecar holster out now. I haven't tried those yet, but I've always ran the tier 1 concealed Axis Elite, and it's always been phenomenal. I carry appendix. That's how I always carried. And for the longest, I just couldn't find a holster that, you know, would be actually comfortable when sitting, when driving, when running, when bending over, or anything like that. And this is actually, to me, is very comfortable. So if you're gonna get a tier 1 concealed holster, or any other holster for that matter that doesn't make holsters for the CR920, you can go and find yourself a Glock 43X MOS. If you don't get the MOS and you just get the 43X, you risk of it not having the rail, the holster not having the rail cut, and then it's not going to fit. You won't get that click that you're looking for retention, and you risk the actual gun falling out of the holster. So full disclaimer really fast, again, Shadow Systems didn't send this to me. I bought this with my own money, and all the ammunition that I ran through it, I bought with my own money, which I had no issues with at all, not even any failure to feeds. So this review is not paid for. It's not sponsored by anybody. This is just me, you know, trying to reach out to, you know, people like you. So that way you guys, if you were on the fence about buying something like this, hopefully I was able to, you know, push you in that direction and help you with any questions that you had. I don't think that you would be making a mistake when buying this, especially the War Poet. I mean, you buy the War Poet, you can do no wrong. I can tell you that. But no, guys, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and God bless.